Good morning, and welcome to InTouch, a public affairs show dedicated to the health and welfare of Susquehanna Valley residents. At this time on Sunday mornings, we sit down with representatives from various community organizations looking to make a difference in the lives of others. Today, we're here for the animals. I'm pleased to welcome Vickie Stryker, the Executive Director of the Lycoming County SPCA. We'll spend the next few moments talking about all the ways you can help further the mission of the organization through fundraising, volunteering, and general support. Hi, Vickie. Thanks for being here today.
Hi, thank you for inviting me.
Oh, it's so nice to see you. Now, I always love the animal faces, but there's so much more to talk about than just the animals' faces. It's all helping the animals at the SPCA, isn't it?
Absolutely. And the people who own them, too.
That's right. We're going to cope and help and make sure everybody's happy because we want to keep them all alive and fed and sheltered, etc.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, but we do it.
I want to know about the Lycoming County SPCA because on your website, which is lycomingspca.org,
correct,
it says serving since 1892.
I don't remember far back then, but we 3 years ago now, we celebrated our 125th anniversary. So now we're into our 128th year, which is really exciting. And if you think about it, being around that long, we must be doing something right.
I agree. I heard that you have a new director of development.
We do, Krista Watson. She's been doing a fabulous job. She's been in the position for a year now, and she's really made a lot of interesting changes, and it's making online information more accessible and more fun to view and participate.
I think going to that website, which is lycomingspca.org, it's very easy to navigate. You have a lot of good categories that we can find everything that we want from the SPCA.
In upfront and personal is all those animals. So that's always been a big focus of what I like people to see is that even though there's a lot of things we do in the background, the animals are the reason why we do it.
There's a pause. You're calling it the Portraits calendar.
I know, it's hard to spit out.
It's adorable, though. I get the point. It's a calendar that people have put their own pets' faces up, and you can vote on them and donate. That's really neat.
It's been around for quite a while now, and this year it's a little more competitive because the pictures are posted online, and the money that the pet owners raise is also online. So people are really reaching out to their friends, their neighbors, their coworkers to say, help support the SPCA and vote for my animal. And so we had a $10,000 goal, and we're more than 2/3 of the way there.
That is so great. I saw dogs. I saw cats. I even saw a little guinea pig.
And there's a toad I don't know if you saw the toad.
You're right. I did see a toad.
Yeah.
They're so cute. When you say that last year, you've been doing this quite a while, have you done significantly better due to the website improvements?
Oh, absolutely. Last year, I think we raised about close to $3,000 through the calendar contest. So we've surpassed that.
That is
and
so
then
fantastic.
Some. Yes.
So, yes, we want to focus on helping the animals because that's why we're here. I saw you can become a member. Boom. I had no idea.
Yes. Your membership supports our work and also gives you a newsletter quarterly and 10% off in our gift shop. And, of course, you're helping the animals. What could be better?
Absolutely. As far as the website goes, lots of different options that you can check out and see. So starting off with just adoption, how has adoption been doing this year? When summer comes, is that more of a time when people are thinking, hey, let's have a pet, bring somebody home for the kids that aren't in school?
You're absolutely right, because we do see a boost of families coming in the summertime to get pets because the kids are home and they can help take care of the animal. And the one thing I like to stress with parents is even though your child may be very responsible, you still need to remind them of the care of the animal, the watering, the feeding, the cleaning up after the animal, because sometimes kids get involved in their own little activities, especially in the summertime. And as parents, we have to remind them to do their homework, brush their teeth, and sure, take care of the animals.
Absolutely. You have to make sure that they're taken care of, and that really sets them up for a life of taking care of pets for the rest of the time if you show them.
Showing responsibility, absolutely.
Sure. You were talking earlier about we have wonderful pets in our homes, but we also have animals that are out in the wild that you have to take care of in a way too. You have a separate section really for that, don't you?
Actually, we are not permitted to take care of wildlife. What you would find, squirrels, raccoons, rabbits, things like that.
Okay.
That is strictly enforced by the Game Commission. But there are rescue groups that take care of wild animals, especially if they're injured or orphaned.
Oh.
And we take care of domestic animals, and that would include anything from a hamster all the way up to horses. So when we do cruelty investigations and we see that there's a horse in need, we investigate, try to get its care that it needs. And if necessary, we can take it from the owners if the conditions are not right for the animal.
What kind of intervention legally do you need to obtain before you can do that?
That's a good question, because a lot of people have watched Animal Planet and think that you can go in and take animals away from their owners, and you cannot just do that. You need a search warrant, and you need, on that search warrant, proof that there is a problem. Otherwise, you can't get the search warrant. And once we do obtain a search warrant, we'll remove the animals, give them the veterinary care that they need, and then prosecute the owners for cruelty or abuse.
You have veterinarians, I'm sure, on call. Is that how you work, or do you have one veterinarian that you work with?
We have several veterinarians in the area that help us. They're all wonderful. And if we have an animal that needs care, we'll call up somebody in their vicinity and say, we have this situation, can you see this animal? And the veterinarians in our area have been very wonderful to the animals of the SPCA.
I'm sure as a donating person to the SPCA, that is where some of the funding can go. Is that true? Or would they say, no, we don't want any money?
Well, interesting that you said that, because our budget for medical care for the animals is over budget by 100%. So I budgeted $12,000 for medical care, just for sick animals, and we're already at $24,000 in expenses because we've had some really sick animals this year. Some of them, the owners couldn't care for them any longer. Some of them were strays. So when they need veterinary care and we have to take them out, of course it's going to be expensive, and that adds up. So Krista is doing a fundraiser toward the end of July.
It's the Healthy Homeless Pets Drive.
Yes, we're having that to raise funds for the additional medical expenses that we incurred this year.
This is absolutely where people who love animals, if they have funds to give, let's help.
Even $1. Every dollar helps.
Absolutely. Moving on to animals that you have in your home with microchipping. I guess you have an opportunity to allow that. Do you use that service?
Every animal that is adopted from the SPCA, I should say every cat and dog, is microchipped.
Okay.
Which is a lifetime identification. Doesn't replace a dog license, but it is an identification so that if your pet is lost and it is taken to a vet or to our SPCA, we scan it, the number comes up, and we can identify the owner. So we do provide this service for $25 plus tax, and to people in the public to bring their animals in. So if you want to make sure that if your animal ever gets lost, that microchip will identify it. Well, I have an interesting microchip story.
Okay, yeah, tell me that.
We have an employee who adopted a cat 5 years ago, and it ran out of her house, and she wasn't able to find it. 5 years later, it came in as a stray at the SPCA, in very good condition, by the way, and we scanned it for a microchip and found out that it was her cat.
Oh, my gosh. What a day that must have been.
She was very excited. It's the sweetest cat, too, and somebody probably found it and loved it just like she did. So the microchip will identify your pet, and it's a great resource because it's always there.
Can you come to the SPCA during your open hours to have your own pet microchipped, or do you have clinics that may provide that for the public?
You can come at any time that we're open to get a microchip. There's a short application. You complete that. The microchip is inserted under the skin right above the neck, but through a needle. People ask, does it hurt? And I always tell them, well, it's a shot. And
their
the
necks
microchip,
are pretty. Animals' necks are
pretty. A lot of them don't even notice it. And then the microchip is permanently implanted there.
That's a great idea, and I have to get mine done soon, too. So is there a charge for that, a minimal fee?
It's $25 plus tax for the microchip.
That's worth it when you want your pet back.
Absolutely.
When you want your buddy.
Yes.
He has to come home, for sure. Giving tours at the SPCA, is that something that you do?
We do. We have educational programs for children so that we can teach them dog bite prevention, how to be nice to animals. And then along with that, they get a tour of the facility. And I know sometimes adults are curious as well. And we have done programs for adult groups. if anybody is interested in that, they can just call the SPCA and ask about it. But this is our third year. We're having a summer camp for children, and the kids spend a week at the SPCA. The camp hours are 9 to 3, and with extended hours from 8 to 5 for the working parents.
Oh, yeah.
And the children learn about the care of animals, not just cats and dogs, but also fish, guinea pigs, hamsters, rabbits, horses, those kind of things. They learn what goes into taking care of a pet so that they realize that someday if they want a pet, it's a lot of work and a lot of expense. That's also something to consider.
Yeah, you have to make sure that you're helping their health. You can't just keep an animal and not take care of it.
Absolutely.
For sure. Vickie Stryker, you're the executive director of the SPCA. How did you get started?
I applied in 1999 as the volunteer manager. It was the first position they had there, and as it happened, the former executive director left the employee and recommended me to replace her, and I've been there ever since.
You fell in love and never left.
Yes, absolutely. I used to be an RN, so it just seems like it's another caring profession.
I think you're right. I have a friend who owns a kennel in Tioga County, and she was an RN, and it's like that's a very comforting knowledge to have for people who are giving their pets to you to care for.
And it's not just taking care of the pets, it's the owners as well. There's nothing more rewarding than helping someone find the perfect pet, or even end-of-life situations where they need humane euthanasia for their pet. We do it for both ends of it, and people are really grateful that we're there.
You're a no-kill shelter now.
Yes.
That changed recently, didn't it? Or at least within the past couple of years.
Well, we've been no-kill for dogs for years.
Okay.
Years and years. We've had more difficulty with the cat situation, and we recently stopped accepting and euthanizing feral cats.
Okay.
Just because they're wild is no reason to put them to sleep. So we do euthanize aggressive animals. So there are occasions where we'll get a cat or a dog that is too aggressive to be handled or has bitten multiple times, and we do euthanize aggressive animals.
So that's something that you are maintaining safety in the kennel.
Absolutely. And people think that we have some magic solution for an aggressive animal. If it's biting people, it's not safe to put back out in the community.
Yeah, and the resources that would be needed to train an animal would probably take a lot longer and a lot more than you have.
Exactly. We don't have a dog trainer on staff right now, and that's one of our goals is to have another dog trainer. But even then, the one-on-one work that takes doesn't often correct the situation. So it's a really tough thing, and sometimes they're just poorly bred too, which causes problems with if their breed is aggressive to begin with, and poor breeding on top of that sometimes potentiates the situation and makes it worse.
Well, we certainly want to encourage the adoption of animals, and when you talk about overbreeding and dirty kennels and places that don't have reputable
puppy
situations.
mills.
Yes. I want to make sure that we know that adoption is always the better option, it seems.
It is. And there are reputable breeders out there, and they don't overbreed their dogs. They take care of them. We have no problem with reputable breeders. It's the ones that keep them in kennels. They don't groom them. They don't trim their nails. They don't give them social interaction. And it's almost like a feral dog in some ways when they're not handled or cared for. So if you do want to adopt a puppy and you are considering a breeder, you should be able to see the mother with the puppies and the situation when they were raised in. If not, that's a red flag.
Okay. What process would you go through to come to Lycoming SPCA and adopt a pet as a family? They come, look, what's the process?
Well, the first step is to complete an adoption survey, which can be found online, printed off, and filled out, or we'll give you one at the SPCA. And it's a screening questionnaire for a lot of reasons. For instance, if you have a family with children 2, 3, 4, 5 years of age, we want to make sure we give you an animal that's safe around young children.
Okay.
And we do evaluate our dogs based on the family situation, who they would fit best with. So once you fill out that application, you can tour through the kennels, see which animal you're interested in, and we can provide more information. You can get them out and visit with them. And if the dog or even the cat seems suited for your family, you can adopt it the very same day.
Nice. Oh, and just that faces when you see them online, you sometimes see a face of like the dog in the kennel, the dog in the house. It's like in the car.
And it's a huge difference. One of my good friends adopted a dog recently, and the dog was terrified in the kennel. And she sent me a picture of it sprawled out on the sofa. It was just relaxing. So it does make a difference.
Oh, I love that too. I have a lab German Shepherd mix who was very scared before I got him, and now he's the same, under the bed, laying there, being lazy. Wonderful. I love him. Lucky. So being a family that adopts pets is a good thing. We want to help everybody, encourage everybody to come out to the SPCA. Look online at lycomingspca.org, and also check out the Portraits calendar. It's going on till August 2nd.
Yes, and if you want to enter your pet in the Portraits calendar contest, you can still do it. There's still time. And if you're one of the top 12 fundraisers, your pet will get to be the pinup pet for the month of the one whole month for the calendar. So that's always an incentive to get your pet in the calendar. And even if it doesn't get the top 12, it will be in a thumbnail print on the back of the calendar.
Oh, that's a wonderful idea. A little publication for your pets.
Yes.
So check it out. Go to lycomingspca.org, and the Portraits calendar, there's a link right there. It's really on the front page.
Yes, it's under events.
Yeah.
And you'll see Portraits calendar.
And all those cute faces. Oh, I can't wait to see it. And it looks like if you enter, you also receive a calendar as a person.
You get a calendar, free calendar that's included. And then, of course, you want to buy calendars for gifts to show off your pet.
That's right. For back to school, everybody needs one for their classrooms. Every kid needs one at home.
That's right.
And we can put them all up here at work, too. I'll get
Great
a couple.
stocking stuffers.
Can we stop by the SPCA on Reach Road to see you during your hours each day?
We open at 10 o'clock every morning. And on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, we're open till 7:30. So there's plenty of time there, even if you're working full-time. Wednesdays and Saturdays are our short day. We close at 4, and we are closed on Sundays.
All right. Well, you're always looking for volunteers, I assume, for folks to come in and socialize cats?
We have lots of volunteer opportunities. Even for people who think it's too sad to be in the shelter, we have filing, mailings, all kinds of other opportunities like that. But for those of you who want hands-on with the animals, we do have orientation and animal handling classes, and we can get you set up on a schedule to come in to walk the dogs or socialize the cats.
So are there items that you could use? Like you probably could use some cat litter or other items, dog foods, different things?
Right now, what we need the most is items for orphan kittens. So kitten milk replacement powder would be a great help, or kitten food, wet or dry, and even baby bottles, the teeny tiny baby bottles to feed the kittens. We have about 70 foster families right now that have cats with litters or orphan kittens that they're taking care of until they're old enough to be spayed or neutered and adopted.
That's another option, being a foster family.
Absolutely. If you're interested in fostering, and mostly our opportunities for fostering are with cats or kittens. Very rarely do we need an extra home for a dog. But if that's your interest, fill out an application. We'll keep it on file. And when a situation comes up where we need a foster family, we would give you a call.
You never know when you're going to find a mama with 12 puppies.
Yes, absolutely.
Ready to go to somewhere. Oh, Vickie Stryker, it's been so nice talking with you today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
I hope that everybody can get out to the Lycoming SPCA or check them out online, lycomingspca.org, and check out the Portraits calendar, find out all the things that you do. Vickie, thanks so much for helping the animals in Lycoming County.
You're welcome.
InTouch is locally produced in our studios at 1685 4 Mile Drive in Williamsport. To get in touch with us regarding questions or comments or topic ideas, call weekdays between 8 and 5, 570-323-8200. You can also write to us at 1685 4 Mile Drive in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, 17701. Attention Freddi Hammer. Or email me at fhammer@backyardbroadcasting.com. Thanks for listening to InTouch, a production of Backyard Broadcasting.